2. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Neil Haley Network's Freedom from Addiction segment. I'm excited to welcome the program Reverend Winn Hederson. Winn, how are you? And thanks for stopping by today.
Yeah, I'm doing really good today, Neil. Thank you for asking. We're going to talk about Benjamin Franklin a little bit. He invented a lot of things, but his lasting legacy of invention was his method of making a good decision. And we've taken that, and it's called a T-chart. You put all the negatives on one side and all the positives on the other side, and then add them up and see which one has more. And you can use that to make a good decision. And the decision that we're going to make today, and it's the subject of my new book, Guess What Drug the Cat In, is alcohol. Should you drink it? Should you stop drinking it? And we're going to give you 25 reasons why you shouldn't drink alcohol and 3 or 4 why you should. And when you hear all these reasons, you're going to really think seriously about, am I going to be a drinker or am I not going to be a drinker? Also, this book will be available to the people who look at this podcast, at least for a while, if they come to my website, which is www.revwinnhedersonmd.com. And you can download the book and find out all the information. We don't have time to go into all 25 of the harmful things that alcohol can and will do to you. We're going to give you some of them today, a kind of a little teaser to make you want to come back and find out what the rest of them are.
Oh, we definitely, but kind of to talk about, that's a great tool and method to look at. Do you think that people shouldn't drink alcohol at all? Or do you think it has to be such a moderation? It's more about a social encounter that doesn't lead to multiple drinks, because that's when the problems occur.
Well, as a matter of fact, it doesn't make any difference, because when you take the first drink, you're heading down that slippery slope toward developing any of these 25 different illnesses and problems. And so you have to decide, are you getting enough out of it to take the risk of harmful things happening to you or not? And so if it's okay with you, we'll go over some of them.
All right, let's go over them.
There has never been an evidence-based scientific study anywhere that tells about health benefits from drinking alcohol. Secondly, alcohol is very addictive. Adults who first used alcohol before they were 15 years of age are 7 times more likely to develop alcoholism than adults who first use alcohol at age 21 or later. 2/3 of illicit drug users indicated that the first drug they ever used was alcohol. Sexual assault is more than 60% when one or both of the people involved are intoxicated. 10,000 deaths a year are attributed to impaired drivers. There's 1 in 3 car wrecks. However, what is often overlooked is that the physical impairment to your driving begins at 0.02 BAC, not the legal limit of 0.08. Suicide is approximately going to happen to 7% of those with alcoholism. Alcohol causes depression, even in a person who is not ordinarily depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And between 1/3 and 1/2 of all traumatic brain injuries happen under the influence of alcohol. A drinker is 6 times more likely than a non-drinker to be pre-diabetic, which is the precursor of type 2 diabetes. and all its complications. Alcohol is implicated in 8 cancers that are on the path of where alcohol goes through your body, meaning the larynx, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the liver, and interestingly enough, there's a correlation between drinking alcohol and breast cancer.
My gosh.
Most patients in the United States who have both liver disease and kidney dysfunction are also alcohol dependent.
So all these horrible things you hear about alcohol, when your recommendation is don't try it, and the percentage of people in the United States that drink is extraordinary.
Well, there's 2 ways that you can guarantee that you're not going to be addicted to a behavior. And that is if you never try it, and if you try it and you hate it. So not knowing whether you're going to hate it or like it, I would suggest that you don't try it. If you're already an alcoholic, then you need to be cured from your disease of alcoholism, and you can do that by listening to my podcast, which is freedomfromaddiction.libsyn, that's libsyn.com, or going over to the website, which we gave you before, which is Winn Hederson MD.com.
And right there, when you get to the website, there's also a Hugo the Artist art page, art store. And then also there is lots of materials and different programs that you are currently offering. So it's a great wealth of knowledge and resources with the podcast, with the blog, and also information about you and what you've learned to help cure addictions. And you say the word cure, which a lot of people, and we should do this for maybe an episode next week, that's a pretty big statement. You can cure, when many people in this profession of helping people with illnesses and disorders don't use that word.
Well, that's true. Alcoholics Anonymous said that you can't cure addiction, you can only keep people away from alcohol. But they're substituting another addiction for that one. So the whole process of being addicted to something is what we're talking about. And in fact, you can cure addiction. And one of my programs, I will stay with you one-on-one until your addiction is cured. You don't get that kind of guarantee from very many people in the addiction field. But I feel so strongly about the fact that I can cure anyone's addiction that if you do 3 simple things, we can get that job done.
And the amount of money that could be saved is tremendous. I mean, an alcoholic spends how much money drinking every month? Could be a whole retirement almost.
Yeah, some people have taken their whole savings account and thrown it in the pot after alcohol or drugs or both.
Oh my gosh. And again, alcohol is almost the gateway drug in a lot of ways. Once you get tired of alcohol, you go to drugs. And then once you turn to drugs, you turn to hard drugs. And then other addictive behaviors occur, and look out, right? There's a lot, your health, you develop more and more health problems. It's just not good. And that's why it's important to listen to someone like you about moderation and living your full life with passion without certain things to bring you down an addiction that leads to addiction.
And I wanted just to make a comment for the men out there. Drinking alcohol can cause erectile dysfunction, and it doesn't necessarily go away when you stop drinking.
Wow. And that's why we have such an ED problem in this country or in the world, because of alcohol and stressors of life that lead to it at an earlier age than when you should have ED, if you do, based on certain health problems, but it's happening to younger and younger people. For sure. So everyone needs to check you out. Appreciate you coming by. But the last step we want all our listeners and viewers to do, right now is go to RevWinnHedersonMD.com and download the book, and then you'll get it for free and get to read it and help you cure that addiction of alcohol or help a loved one that is suffering from alcoholism.
Well, Neil, I just wanted to say that as of this afternoon, the book has not been transferred onto the website, but it will be very soon. So if it's not there, come back and get it.
Or send you an email. You'd send you a message at your website saying, I cannot wait till that happens, and I want to be the first person on that list. And it will be very soon, trust me. But I appreciate you coming by. Great show again, and great information that really scares you about this process. It makes me nervous, saying, oh my gosh, really, can this happen with alcoholism? This was something that you don't hear on television. Why? Because alcohol is advertised. If you went on TV today and talked about that stuff, they're going to say, well, our sponsors are going to be upset. The lawyers are going to be upset. Alcohol is a big business. It's a big business in many ways. And that's probably every one of the addictions caused by a industry that's making lots of money off it.
Well, that's right, Neil. And if you think that it's scary what you heard, wait till you hear the rest of the 25 reasons not to drink.
Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. All right. That was the Freedom from Addiction show, everybody.